The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners and the leaders past, present and emerging of Ngunnawal, Ngambri and Darawal countries where we are working from today. This always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Manjot, myth, legend.
Who thinks they're going first this week, by the way? Hands up.
It's Talor.
Oh, you're wrong. It's you, Manjot.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh, okay. Man, that is just a load of information. Lot of dumping right there, man. Yes, you gotta go for them early and then trade them. I was feeling that sort of vibe from Talor. Talor nailed, I reckon. Yeah, as someone who's living the pain of the Jimmy G experience still, just trade that man, please.
I just realised he, basically had hamstrings made of tissue. That was great.
A lot like mine.
Anyway, back to Manjot.
How about me with my Peyton Manning jersey that I got for Christmas last year?
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
It's an upgrade, but he's not going to be so elite.
In the beginning there was nothing, a featureless void. From the formless primordial state, a legend was born when forces combined to create a solid object of significant value. As planets were formed and Earth itself was shaped, the object lay awaiting its destiny. Seas rise and fall, mountains emerge, and upon the highest mountain, an intrepid adventurer happens upon the object. A worthy prize for ascending this to the tallest of peaks. This object has been documented to be held by many of the great dynasties of mankind, from the Persians to the Hans, the Mongols and the Ottomans, lives lost defending it from those who seek to possess it. Now it is in the trust of three wise men who also reach such pinnacles, to be held by he who imparts the most astute knowledge upon fellow mankind. The winner of the annual Aussie NFL Fantasy Show Starts of the Week.
I'm going back to Shaq Stick instead of Snoop Dogg. I reckon Snoop Dogg's would be too skinny. I reckon it's more, the thickness is better. I reckon it's Shaq Stick.
It's going to be the monument on the hill.
Yeah, not your,
I do it with my other
not
hand,
your
but
hill, mate.
But Shaq lived in Canberra for a bit, so it's got to be him, right?
Hang
Got
on.
honor the-
Nah,
Are you
well,
getting Shaq mixed up with Jackie Chan? It was Jackie Chan.
No,
who came first.
Shaq apparently went to Narrabundah College. It's on Wikipedia. It's correct.
You fucking... No, come on.
Hey, I was just in a class. There's like Wikipedia can be like fact checked and shit.
Wouldn't it
So that's
make more
more-
sense if we put it somewhere in Shell Harbour, considering that's where it's going? Or...
Yeah. I think it definitely made its way out of the bay back onto Taylor's driveway last week.
Yeah, but it was slightly moving towards Manjot last week. And
It
now
was.
it's just-
Yeah, I think it just made out into the lake across the back from your place, mate, and then immediately did a U-turn.
It's sitting in my pool right now.
Mate, well, let's recap it real quick, because it was an interesting as heck week. Manjot, let's pull up yours here. Hang on.
A defending champion.
Our defending champion. You got to pick what order people picked in. You gave yourself the third pick turn.
And it was,
And-
he had a huge, he really thought it through.
He did.
He really liked it like I do. Just, looked exactly what the best position would be instead of just throwing it out at the last minute.
It's kind of poetic that he just spent a little while as the public defender talking about the Falcons and trying to kind of defend whether Mariota can do anything, because he'd run out Mariota as his quarterback. He put up a princely 12 points.
He had one good play.
One, and that was it.
Yeah, one.
Was that to Bird?
Demir Bird, yeah. I didn't even know he was still in the league. I had no
yeah,
idea. he
me
was still
too.
in the
I
league.
was like, where is Demir Bird come from?
It was his first target of the season.
Yeah.
What too?
So random.
I was watching Game Pass when that happened, and he got it, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a really good week for Mariota and Manjot and starts the week. And then I just didn't even really look at the game in the second half. I just assumed Mariota must have had a really good game, and I'm like, he finished on 120 yards. That's it.
A classic Tannehill game.
70% of his yards were in that one play.
Hilarious. And I thought it was Zacchaeus, like Olamide Zacchaeus, who was catching it as he was running off with it. I'm like, Demir Bird? What?
What is going on?
Anyhow, Brian Robinson, who we thought was, all of us thought he was up for a decent game because the Packers' running defense has been pass. He gets you 10 points, but I just kind of thought we were going to get more out of him. Brandon Cooks, it was nice to see him return to some relevance, but 8.6 probably wasn't what you're after. It was just good to see him getting some targets, though, because, I don't know, Davis Mills and he have had a bit of a Barney or something. They weren't talking much for a while there. So it's sort of good to see Brandon Cooks come back with some points. And then Taysom Hill, the classic boom or bust tight end with 10.1. He got a touchdown.
Yeah, early touchdown.
And then was never seen again because Andy Dalton was too busy giving possession to the Cardinals. So, how good was that photo of Dalton looking so pissed that he's
so good, and he's just leaping. That's one of the best photos of the year.
I thought you photoshopped it when you put it in the chat.
didn't I?
I literally thought.
I think it was ESPN or something. Someone posted it on Facebook, and I was like, "That is so good." I'm just taking that and just posting it everywhere.
I literally thought you'd photoshopped that in and had just forgotten to put the meme captions on it. I'm like, that's a great effort, but where's the having a laugh at Dalton throwing the pick?
Yeah, it was good.
Didn't need it. I mean, it was funny as it was, but now. I thought I was off to a shit hot start when I had Lazard and Kenneth Walker throw up 40 points, but I'd made the call about Bailey Zappi on a Wednesday, and then it turns out Mac Jones was probably going to start, and I stayed true. I said if Jones is going to play, it's going to be pus, and they'll take him out and they'll put Zappi in, and if they don't, I'll eat the 0. And man, did I feel smart for 8.5 seconds when Zappi went in, threw a touchdown, and then immediately turned back into a pumpkin. So we managed 5
two
points.
late interceptions. You were in front before that first interception, and then the first interception put you slightly behind.
Yeah,
but he still had most of a quarter to sort of get it going and get some bit of garbage time yards at least, even if he didn't get a touchdown, just some yards. And he got a few, and then all of a sudden he just throws another pick, and it was just over.
Curtains and the fumble as well. It was just.
And Hunter Henry only had one catch, and so he wasn't helping you either.
And he had it fairly early too, so he really made me feel like I was a chance. So those two combined for 7 points when I needed 9.9. Oh my God. So the great news is Taylor comes back with a triumphant 50.2 on the back of 15, almost 16 from Tua. 15 from Ayuk. How about that?
That was handy.
Yeah,
he had a lot of targets, a lot of receptions. He didn't go for a huge amount of yards or anything, but he just got sort of peppered with targets. And it came true. What I said was that I thought the game script was going to be them coming from behind. It wasn't in the first quarter, but as soon as Mahomes got going, it was definitely just a lot. Jimmy G had to pass more because he was behind.
Once their number one running back, Cole Hardman, started putting in touchdowns.
3 of those bad boys, 2 rushing touchdowns.
What was that? Yeah. But also from your start to the week, Tony Pollard bangs you up about a 13, and Robert Tunyon, who we all love, we love Robert Tunyon with that haircut. 6 points was enough. You didn't need more.
Yeah.
You gave us a stay of execution, and the scoreboard looks like this. Taylor 19. He's about to break 20 on the week that Manjot and I just broke 10. So that's how it's going. 6 wins and a 3rd place for Taylor, and Manjot and I struggling.
It's over. Is it?
Yeah, I'm not racing Taylor anymore. I'm just racing you, mate.
What? Yeah. It's like a bear's chasing us. Just don't be the last. Don't be the slowest.
Exactly how it is. Well, this is exactly how we are prepared for it every week. Last week, even though Manjot was a winner, he was pretty prepared for Taylor to tell us where we all picked, because it had never happened that Taylor wasn't the person who was telling us where to pick. But thank goodness order has been restored. Mate, who are you giving the number 1 pick to? And why is it Matty C?
I didn't send it to you.
You never sent it.
So I done the Manjot and waited till the last second. So I'm going to put Manjot in the middle, back to his middle spot.
Oh, so the question is now, does Taylor have someone who he loves that much he has to go first? So that's the question.
I am going to go first. I want to go first and put you third, Matty.
No,
I just the only week I've given you first pick, you didn't even do it. It was Mark. So I might as well stick with that. I'll go first.
Man, Jock gave it to me, and I picked a quarterback who wasn't even the starter for his team. So I don't know. What am I fucking doing?
What am I doing in my life?
All right, my friend. I'm ready when you are. Then you kick this thing off, and it'll give me a while to stew over what I should do.
Now I think he still fits, as mentioned earlier. I'm taking Raheem the Dream.
Okay.
Fuck. I was gonna go with him by the first pick. I was looking at us downing right into the eyes of running backs. I was thinking,
Yeah.
oh, I want Raheem.
I didn't even write anyone else down. I wrote one more just in case like one of you was like, oh no, he's too good. Like, he had a good game last week. I still think he fits it. Like literally 2 weeks ago, he had 5 points. Like, I think he fits it now. If he destroys the Lions, I think most people will be starting him moving forward, especially if he just gets the Lions share of the work again. So might be one of those ones where this could be the last week he's relevant.
Pun intended there, Taylor. Lions share against the Lions. Come on, man.
You know.
This is why he
there's been a lot of
deserves the
runs.
bronze Shaktik right there. It's not just the picks; it's also the wordsmithery right there.
Of course. Yeah, the Poet Society. Yep, in the corner.
Yeah, they're over there. Give him a nod for me, Tay.
Thumbs up.
Yep. All right, so we got Raheem the Dream.
Yep.
And Jot, your pick.
Boy. Yeah, it's tough. I always say, oh, this is gonna be tough. That's what I always say.
Yeah, careful, because I get 2 picks straight away after you, so I'm really gonna mess you up.
Yeah,
I couldn't risk someone taking Raheem the Dream off me again like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, I need Mark to give me his picks. That's what I need.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna go with a quarterback. I just think quarterback is the way. It's tough. It's tough. It's nerve wracking, isn't it? I'm gonna go. I'm not sure who the hell is gonna be starting these dudes because we're going deep into frickin'. I'm gonna go Derek Carr against the Saints.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna go Derek Carr. If that's allowed, I mean, some side.
It's sort of like
I always say it.
I'll actually
Always
admit,
says that.
like, I don't think we really were putting Derek Carr like week 1, but like honestly, at this point, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even need to ask.
I think because like week 1, I kind of had him. There was like 15 or 16 quarterbacks, and honestly, I'll take a deeper dive here. This is actually why when I saw Derek Carr hit the wire that time that you guys wanted him, and I saw him there, and I knew Seahorse had the first waiver. The reason I wanted him, even though I already had a quarterback, was I just had this mindset of there is a certain amount of guys I just thought were too good at quarterback to hit the wire. And Carr was just one of those guys. And that's why those were the guys I just sort of didn't have pegged as this segment. But moving forward, that was probably because with Devontae Adams there, you just didn't know what his ceiling was now all of a sudden, Carr. Like, you were like, this guy could be anything because he's got Devontae Adams. I think we've seen it. I don't think he's much better than he's been any other years. So I think he fits. Like, because I think we've worked out that he's not going to all of a sudden be a top 5 guy.
Yeah,
look,
I think you're right.
If he's gonna be cooking New Orleans like he did against the Chiefs, I think he'll be pretty good this week. So I thought he's just the safest quarterback play out there in terms of starts of the week, so quality. So I'm gonna go with Derek Carr.
Yep.
Man, I like it.
Oh,
I can
yeah, I
imagine a
think he's
world
a
where I
great
would pick him up and
chance as well.
start him. Yeah.
He's a great chance. I think I was just more trying to like talk him down in a way just to prove that he fits in
That
this
he fits.
segment. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Defense.
I think there's a world where there will be people who will need somebody to start in place of a Herbert or a Mahomes who will find themselves looking at Derek Carr. Speaking the
Got
English.
the last name and the first name wrong, straight back to back. Like, god dang, Matty.
I kind of had Carr and
quit.
Tua in the same tier, and I was like, well, we're picking Tua now, so why wouldn't we pick Carr?
So for my pick, I'm taking Tua. No, I'm joking.
Why not, mate?
He's not allowed.
I'm taking a wide receiver, and I'm going to go and take who I think is clearly the best of a group here. Just because a receiver went down in that pack, he's only 32% owned and is against the bottom 10 receiving defense in fantasy. It's Devin Duvernay at the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
So a bit of a shot. And I mean, I'm not sure that he's someone that people would be otherwise thinking about if Bateman hadn't gotten hurt, and there would be a question about whether he would start or not, or how much capacity he will have. But I'm just going to stick my neck out and take him because I think if he is in that position where he's facing this already bottom 10 fantasy defense, and then he's got this extra opportunity, it's just too good to pass up, and I don't want anyone else to have that shot at a quarterback. At a wide receiver before me.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I was thinking about Duvernay as well, to be fair.
So I was doing I normally had been using like Pro Football Reference for a lot of this stuff, but
Yep.
Yeah.
since I've been using like this year's data, a lot of times I'm sort of just scrolling the list. Like I'll just bring up the rankings of the year just in the NFL.com app. Like,
Yep.
and I went down and Duvernay was coming up as wide receiver 11. I was like, that can't be right. Like,
Oh.
that is he having some like miracle season? I don't know why. Just for him, they completely fucked up the stats. Like in two of the games, he had 2 receptions for like 20 yards, and they were bringing up that he'd scored 23 fantasy points. I don't know why. I don't know if it's still there and it was just an anomaly, but I was bringing it up, and it had him as wide receiver 11, and 2 of the games had him as like 20 more points in that game than he actually scored.
Somebody at NFL.com's drunk.
Astros.
I was checking other players to try and see if they'd fucked up them too, but it was just Duvernay.
Yeah,
It's
no.
all the Astro bonuses that he got. He got Astro bonuses. You know, Lamar's his quarterback plus 20 points.
20 points.
20 points just for being Lamar's wide receiver number 1. That's it. That's in the Astro League rulebook.
Again, they might have fixed it by now. It was just weird. It was literally sitting there at 11. I'm like, I've missed something here. Like, is he having some enormous season that I didn't realize? And then I just realized they stuffed up 2 of the games.
I had a bit of panic there because I'm like, he's wide receiver 33 on.
Yeah, he's definitely not 11.
Sleeper.
That's what
I've been using Sleeper.
They only had him at 11 because they had given him like 20 extra points in 2 games. So that's why they'd stuffed up. So I was like, okay, that makes more sense. To be honestly, even if he was wide receiver 11, he'd still fit this segment. Like,
because he'd obviously just blown a 35 out of nowhere or something.
yeah. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, it's more about like what you think of the player more so than their actual rank.
All right, well, that's my round 1 pick, and I don't know. He's literally had more than 5 targets in the game once this year, so it is kind of sticking my neck out a bit.
Oh, for sure.
With my second pick, I'm taking Tua. Does he still qualify?
I think he does.
Because I can pivot if not. I just thought he's clearly got the best matchup.
I've still got him on that same level like his car. Like I said, I don't think either of them have really taken a step forward outside of that massive game he had against the Ravens. And because, again, he is such a risk of that concussion.
Yeah.
Like, he could literally eat a 1. Like, again, Manjot may see it differently. I don't think he's guaranteed for massive points still yet.
Yeah,
I can see what you mean.
I'm only going on it because of the matchup. I mean, that's 150% the reason why. It's just like, oh, they're playing the shite Lions. Well, you know, everyone can beat up the Lions. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's one of those ones where I hope it finishes 41-42, you know, and
that's
I don't care who
I'm
wins.
Hoping as well. That's what I've done with Dr. Good Call. But I don't think, like, just because he's got an awesome matchup is relevant to why you couldn't pick him in this. You know what I mean? Like, he could go out and score 40 fantasy points, but that's not guaranteed. Like, he's not someone I think that's too high. Like, I still think he's in that tier that fits this bill. If he goes out and scores 35 in back-to-back games, then I think he'll fall out of this because you'll be so confident with having Tyreek Hill and Waddle and stuff. But I still, 1 game back off the concussion stuff, I still think he fits this.
He, as of today, Wednesday, was being started in 71% of leagues, though. So this is kind of where I'm like, if you're going to say, actually, then it doesn't help anyone if we're only talking to 29% of people who aren't starting him. So that's kind of where I'm like, well, if you punt him...
That surprises me, eh? Like, that really surprises me.
And that's just on Sleeper, by the way. I always use Sleeper.
No, I've even got a couple of leagues that he's on my bench, and I know I'm not starting him. Like, I'll play Kirk Cousins over in this week just because he's against Arizona, and I've just got a bit more confidence in throwing to Jefferson. But to be fair, that's close because he's against Detroit. My only worry for Tua is that Mostert, just like their running game, just gets everything because the Lions just cannot stop it. So
they can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop quarterbacks. They can't stop wide receivers.
No.
To start everyone against that.
They can't stop.
If you're not ruling him out, I'll take him.
Yeah,
I'm not ruling him out. I'm taking him, and then it's on to Manjot for pick 2 of round 2, Richie Beno style.
Yeah, let's go, Richie.
Go Richie.
Look, I'm gonna take the risk of the week. I'm gonna go with Michael Carter.
Yeah, nice. You've talked him up that you think he's a good 1 week play.
Yeah, I think he's the good 1 week play this week for Michael Carter. I put him into my lineup in content team against my boy, my co-host for my other podcast, Ian.
Ian
So-
Tomlinson, baby.
Yeah,
the
It's me
Viking.
versus Matt. It's me versus Maddie in that league too.
I'm gonna
that
get
league,
smashed.
that league's the best league. I know Astro League is like the toughest to win, but this one's probably, I don't know. It's just something about this league. It's like so close at the top. It's just from Ian at number 1 to Maddie at number 7. There's like 3 wins in between them. But look, for this week,
Might only be
Michael
2
Carter-
actually. I think it's 6-1, and then I'm 4-3. So
Nah,
there's
you're
really only
3
2
and 4.
wins. Oh,
You're
3 and 4. Oh, then yeah, that's not close if I'm
You
under
should look at
500.
You should look at the Champions League. First, second, third, and fourth. All 4 and 3.
What a mess.
It's crazy. It's crazy
It's a
some
mess.
of these leagues, how close they can be. And that's why you got to be good. That's why you got to be good in fantasy. And I think, look, Michael Carter, while James Robinson is learning the playbook, I think this is his one chance to have any sort of fantasy football relevance. And look, if Montgomery broke his fantasy AIDS tag against the Patriots defense last week and didn't have fantasy AIDS, like Dr. Goodcall said, I think this might be a sign that Michael Carter can actually have a good and decent game against the Patriots defense. So I'm just going to pin my hopes on Dr. Goodcall getting one wrong and that being the basis for my call. So yeah, there we go. Michael Carter, welcome to the Patient Performer Starts of the Week team. Yeah.
Bushka.
Good.
All right, Tay on the turn here. Who's joining Raheem the Dream brother?
I'll be honest. Like I
Don't need
felt
to
like
pick quarterback now.
my Doctor Good Call picks. Sorry, what did you say then? I don't know.
I said, oh, you don't need to take a quarterback for a while now.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Like I feel when I'm looking at my list this week, my Doctor Good Call always makes the list, obviously, for the 3 in each position. I feel like I want to take as many of those as possible this week. I just feel like they're better than the other 2 that I've got on the lists. And that's just the way I'm looking at it. I don't know if I just really like those guys and I didn't try hard enough to find guys behind them. I really don't know. But I'm going to take Gesicki and Devontae Smith. So...
It's the right
I'm
call.
just going to honestly, and which basically is going to leave. I'm going to full Dr. Good Call this week. So that's just how it's working out. So
it's going to come back and take Goff last as well.
Yeah.
It's going to do it.
You can clinch it.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah. All right. Taylor's done. Don't even need to hear from him.
Yep.
Listen to
Setting
Dr.
down.
Good Call early in the week, and you'll get why he took all these dudes.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like obviously it's a different show, but normally I've got all like the stats and stuff for the other people because I haven't brought him a Dr. Good Call, but I'm not going to bother with this week. So I'm just going to go all Dr. Good Call.
You know how much I hate taking a good Dr. Good Call player too. So after taking one boldly last week, you knew I was no chance this week, right?
Exactly. I knew it. Yeah.
I don't like to agree with you. That's why.
I'm up
I'll just quick. Actually, no, I'll leave it to the end. Sorry. I was going to say who I've got on my list below, but I'll just wait to the end.
No, say it so Manjot can pick him because the problem when you take all the Dr. Good Call players is Manjot doesn't have anyone he can pick.
One of them was interesting, and I would have actually had the discussion. Well, I actually put DJ Moore in here because of how shit a season he's had.
I'd kick your butt on that because he's getting started by more than 80% of leagues still.
Man,
he's still over 80? Yeah.
Did you? Oh, come on.
Because I looked him up.
Taylor, come on, man. He was my pick. DJ
really?
Moore was literally coming up.
No, I would have shut you down on it too, not just because I hate
To
Taylor.
be fair,
I had the
that's why I
perfect
said-
intro for this. I was going to say, I'm going with a former public defender client of mine, DJ Moore. That's what I'm going with. Third round.
First, I'd like to point
pick.
out that I tried to save it for the end, and Matty told me not to.
Yeah,
Maddie, come on, man.
The one time I actually listened to Matty.
I would have shot you both to pieces anyway, so it didn't matter which one of you said. I just shot you both. Just bang, bang.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie,
Again,
come on.
I just sort of thought he did just because of the season he's had, but like, he's the kind
Everyone
of guy
still
I suppose,
trusts
because of
him.
his name.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Everyone
at the
still trusts
name
him.
at the start of the year, probably only took one good game that he had last week to actually probably take me out of it. But yeah, I just had him because he was up against Atlanta 37. They're literally last against wide receiver. I had George Pickens in here as well. I do. The big reason though I didn't want to delve into that is he's against the Eagles, so it wasn't a matchup play. Like
I looked at him too and went,
the Eagles are awesome at defending wide receiver. There are 12, but I think it's because like what happened with McLaurin earlier in the year. There's just a lot of garbage time that sort of hurts their numbers. But I think in general they're really tough to beat with those two corners. So, Devontae Smith was the guy for me, and I had Juwan Johnson at tight end because he's up against the Raiders and they're 29th, and I had Herb Smith up against the Cardinals because they're second last against tight end.
We tried to get Irv this week, didn't we, Manjot, for the Wankers?
Yeah.
We've currently got
Thank
Cole
Pete.
Kmet, which is fucking filthy because we're trying to cover Gerald Everett.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what it takes. That's how far we've got to stoop to get Cole Kmet. Neither of us believe in him, but we believe in him a bit more than nobody. And that's it. That's what it would have to be to start Cole Kmet. All right, Manjot, you've got a quarterback with one of the cars, I think, not Derek Henry, Derek Carr, and Michael Carter. Is there anyone else with a Carr sounding name that you can put in there?
No, but I'm going with Moore. I'm going with DJ Moore straight up. I think just to put it, I'm putting him in.
Done it anyway.
I'm doing it anyway because look, I'm taking him out of fantasy jail this week. I'm freeing him.
I'm literally scoring you a 0 now for this. You cannot do this.
But Taylor freaking spoiled it. I had the perfect intro. I was gonna say.
What doesn't matter? He's still getting started by 80% of people.
All right. So if that doesn't count, then all right, fine. I'll find.
If you want me to drop the Tua one now because I'm saying it's too many people are starting him, then you come back and say, well, you got to drop Tua. I would do it.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I think, and I'm happy to change my Tua pick if that's what it takes to keep you off DJ Moore because I don't think that helps anybody.
Does it?
I think you are right. Like DJ Moore, because of his name and the fact he had one decent game last week, is probably enough to take him out of it just because of his name, really.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas Tua, I still think Tua fits. I really do.
99% rostered, 80% started. Like it's just, I know he's
fine.
40th at wide receiver. I know, but it's what are you? We're telling people to start a guy they already start. You know.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Well, what about a guy? All right. Is Cortland Sutton? Like, is he up there? Because I'm willing to take a shot on him. I've seen how.
If you said Jerry Jeudy, you'd probably get away with it, but Sutton's 83% started.
Fuck. Okay.
100% owned.
Look deeper.
I can't go with Judy because your Tyson Campbell's actually a good corner compared to the guy across him.
I think as well, like, I think if Russ comes back, it just sort of makes Sutton relevant again. Like, I think even though he had a bad game 2 weeks ago, the Chargers were sort of all over him, and that was actually Sutton's first bad game with Russ. Last week, obviously, wasn't Russ, and then I think I know for a fact I have Sutton, I think in 2 leagues left. I know I've got rid of him in a couple, but I'm starting him in both. Like I just think with Russ, he'll get enough target share.
He certainly was when Russ was starting. I just don't know about Ruben, but yeah, even Judy's getting started in 77% of leagues. So I don't know. I don't know that it helps anyone to say those two.
Some odd. They seem like odd stats. I'm not gonna lie. That seems weird to me that they're starting that many. Like,
wait. Judy started 77. You said.
Is that a baseline of a 10-team league, or is it just every league?
No, this is in the number they give you is for 10-team standard leagues.
Really?
Really?
That many are starting Judy. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's so hard when you're like looking at freaking IDP players when I'm playing my Indian Dynasty, and they're starting like 2% of leagues, all of them. I'm like, who the fuck am I meant to start at linebacker? We should look our weakest position. Come on, man. Like the sleeper. Come on. That's the problem I have with that sort of system is when it comes down to IDPs. So I think they gotta just adjust it towards different leagues and different situations. They gotta work out how to do that algorithm a bit better. But yeah, look, I'm gonna think about wide receiver later. You know,
I like how he's mentioned 2, and I've just smacked him on both of them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit you with the trophy. Bang bang.
I'll be honest, like wide receiver is the one position in this where preseason ranks mean a lot. Like, because people hold on to wide receiver, like based off what they sort of were at the start. Like DJ Moore's a perfect example, and like
if he was a running back, no one would own him.
Yeah,
and no one would start him.
Like, if they were running backs, no one would start them. They might own them. That 60% of people might own them, but they'd be starting like 8% of leagues or whatever. Like, but
they'd be off rosters if they're fucking tight ends at this point.
Yep.
Like that's how it is.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Look, I'm gonna pivot off freaking wide receiver.
I know who you should take a wide receiver, but
I mean, look, Taylor again spoiled my tight end pick because I really want Irv Smith, so it doesn't count, does it? Like, because we want him on the Wankers for a reason.
You can have him, yeah,
definitely have him.
Yeah, I'll take Irv. I feel like he's the most slam dunk pick this week at tight end. So I'm gonna go with Irv Smith and just take him. Yeah, go for it.
Shit, yeah. And I mean, I have Irv on my list too.
Would be dumb for me.
I think you guys will hate this pick, and I'm really willing for you to shout at me about this. But Darren Waller is getting started in 31% of leagues.
If we've slammed down Manjot for preseason takes, like I'm definitely saying no to that one.
Cool. So I'm taking Taysom Hill.
Fair enough.
Come on, man. You gotta have an anti-Tate. I feel like every fan. Remember that one week where he started quarterback? Everyone started in tight end like a couple of years ago, and then ESPN changed his position straight after, and they were like,
"That was
you have to update you."
I waived him in so many leagues that
in every league you could,
Like I actually think I brought it up on the podcast that year.
Yes, you did.
And I was like, honestly, if they're going to have to keep him at tight end for this week, and he's going to be quarterback, so I just went after him in every possible league, and he scored he had a really good quarterback game that day too. He scored like 25 or 26, so it was so worth it. And then all of a sudden,
he ran in one and threw two or something like that, but then he had yards. He had 100 rushing yards.
Yeah, the yards is massive, and then all of a sudden he was worthless the week after. But it was awesome.
I think he's literally the definition of flex. Like an actual offensive.
He's an actual flex position.
He's an actual flex. So I think eventually they've got to work it out and just have him as only eligible for one of your flex spots.
That's it.
And I know that's going to.
Someone actually said you should just be able to play him in any position, but then I'm like, but then you will always play him in tight end because that's why you might as well have him as tight end because that's the worst position to find.
Yeah,
so you might as well just have him as a tight end.
Start him at kicker. Yeah, perfect.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd start him in defense, 100%.
Yeah, start him at defense. Look,
yeah.
Speaking of kickers, just to stall time while I try and actually think of a freaking wide receiver.
You still got me to pick one more before you have to worry about it, but go on.
Look, all right. How good is this Instagram handle by Cameron Dicker? He calls himself Dicker the Kicker. That's just the best shit. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about that when you guys saying kicker. For some reason, I just think
so good. And I'm going to wrap up here. There's two guys who are both owned in under 50 or started in under 50% of leagues. So I figure you'll probably let me have one or the other.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with Melvin Gordon against the Jags in London. Any objections?
No, I don't have objections.
Force him to do it because fuck Melvin Gordon.
That is an absolute shit sandwich. That situation.
Yeah, take it, Matty, if you want. Who's the other one?
Roll the dice. The other one was going to be Devin Singletary against the Packers.
I think you've made the wrong decision. I would have taken Singletary, but
I would have taken Singletary. Bro, who takes Melvin Gordon in any situation, man? Come on.
The guy just finds a touchdown. He's so annoying. Oh my god.
Yeah, he is. But it got to Latavius took it last week, didn't he?
Which was so out of character.
Well, Melvin's on Melvin's on bad ice with Ross now. They're gonna take him out of the freaking.
Ross who? Ross isn't even there, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, fair
Unless
enough.
he's Dick Brett Rippon's wife too.
Melvin reminds me of the Kenneth Gainwell situation last year, where he was number 2 in the depth chart, and he was taking a bit off the starter, like what he was doing to Miles Sanders, and then all of a sudden the starter goes down, so you assume that they're going to be the starter and do all the work, and then somehow they go down the depth chart, not up. I feel like Melvin somehow ended up running back 3 now. He's behind Boone and Latavius Murray. Just like Gainwell ended up 4th somehow when they changed from Sanders. It's such a weird situation. That was honestly one of the things I took out of last year. The weirdest things I've seen all year.
because they were all running back 2 behind Hurts as well, right? So none of them were better than running back 1 anyway, because Hurts was running back 1. Yeah.
But it was like, how's the guy that's getting like 7 touches behind Miles Sanders 15 all of a sudden go down the depth chart? Like, how did they find 2 people to actually put in front of him to go down third? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and it's like, so Boston Scott and like Corey Clement is back or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I think it was Jordan Howard and
Yeah, that's right, Jordan fucking Howard. I think I rolled him out to start 1 week last year in Astros, and he scored a touchdown that week too. Oh, it might have been that week he played at the Dolphins. Do you remember that 1 week he played at the Dolphins?
Yeah,
it was a
two touchdowns, and he did that for the Dolphins.
Yes.
As well, he was the goal line back, and he just kept stealing it.
Oh, stupid. Oh my god. Anyway, okay, so that's my shitty team: Tua, Melvin, Devin Duvernay, and Taysom. Okay, Manjot's got Carter, and Irv Carter Smith. Dan Carter as your wide receiver.
Yeah, Dan Carter would be great. He'd get the kicking points too, and give me the extra field goal points.
Coach Carter, because I'm hopeful. Yes, I am.
It's like in Supercoach, hey, you just at every position in your back line, you just take whoever's the kicker for each of their teams, and that's it. I digress.
Easy. Look, all right. How many leagues is Terry McLaurin getting started in?
You're making me do this. Why are you haven't picked Paris Campbell? Beats the fuck out of me. Like, what is wrong?
Okay, at that point, look.
I think McLaurin's probably still too high too.
Yeah, I think
you could take any of the other receivers.
85. You're going up, mate. You're not even going down. You're going up. You're picking more popular every time. Paris Campbell's like 18.
All right, wait. How many leagues was?
Find us a diamond. Find us a diamond in this rough, Mitchell.
Fuck, mate. I've got Devin Duvernay, and you're like, oh, Terry McLaurin. Oh, Cortland Sutton.
Just taking guys that were getting picked at wide receiver 15 in the draft.
Here's a 3rd round pick. I'm going to present you with that.
Wasn't it? Cooper Kupp's getting started in 66% of leagues. Okay, that's an easy one. There you go. Yeah, okay, all right. Fine.
Is it because he's coming off his bye week? Oh, no, he's on. No, hang on.
He just came off it.
Came off it, and now he's playing San Fran. Apparently, that's.
Oh, fuck. He's going to put up 600.
And now Van Jefferson's going to smack that ass.
Oh, is he back?
Look,
he's come back, apparently.
I'm changing my pick.
All right. Look, this is just.
Oh, here comes Ben Skowronek.
Oh man, do I take? It's just
Michael Thomas.
I want to avoid.
This is the funnest thing watching him squirm.
Look, I want to avoid Garrett Wilson. He was next on the list, but because I've already got Michael Carter, I reckon Garrett's already like disqualified. So,
Garrett Wilson. I mean, I'd give it to you just because his matchup against the Patriots is not.
You could take any of the Patriots wide receivers. That'd be all relevant.
I'd give you Garrett Wilson. Yeah, you could definitely have him. No contest from me. If you hate yourself that much, it's all right, man. But I'll give you a cuddle because I think you must need one if you're going to do that.
You need a slice of that 100 yards that Wilson's going to throw for.
Look, no. In all seriousness, no. Alec Pierce because he's.
There you go.
There we
go.
Is
that legal? Is that legal?
That is legal.
I like how we used to give him some shit about how he'd always say, "Is that okay?" And so then he goes, "You know, fucking what? I'm going to start picking people who aren't okay."
We now need Manjot to go back to saying that.
Like a fucking teenager.
Man, I'm just too used to living with my parents at home to have to ask for permission to go everywhere. That's why I have to ask you two. You to
fantasy football parents.
You needed permission tonight.
So look at that. Man. Pierce, 46%. There you go. That's higher than I was expecting, but still.
It definitely fits.
40, look at
good
you
enough.
go. There you go.
Play against Washington. Look, yeah, this was just a fuck it. I have to find someone to start pick. So yeah, go for it.
And he didn't take Paris Campbell just to spite me. He took the guy on the other side.
Yeah. Look.
Just to be like, fuck you, Matty.
so it's like, no. This is 1,000 IQ play, right?
Okay.
So So let me
Give it
let's
to me.
hear this out. We just picked it out. We just picked up fucking Paris Campbell
Yeah.
off waivers for the
So we know
Wankers.
he's going to suck. Is that your point?
Paris Campbell,
And then-
the awful Talor.
Yeah, and then Paris Campbell, he's gonna play like absolute dog shit because he's
I
on
love
our
that.
team. He's on our team, but if he plays well, then
Wow.
Alec Pierce is not gonna play well. If Alec Pierce plays well, then Paris Campbell's not gonna play well. Either way, either my starts team wins or the Wankers win. So there you go. 100%.
This is like when you bet $100 against your team in the grand final because you think,
Yep.
if I lose,
I can't
win.
lose.
Yeah. That is about the most cynical play. How have you become so bitter? Oh, what have we done to you?
1-6 in most of my leagues.
I apologize
That's
to
where I'm at.
Manjot. I feel
That'll
like I've
do it.
broken you, mate. I'm so sorry.
I have
Manjot,
not
I'm
spent as
sorry.
much time. I've not spent as much time coming up fantasy trades because of my freaking like a million other things I have to do to
Sorry, I'll
fantasy
come up
shit.
with a few for you.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the one Taylor sent me today in content team. Come on, man. I
Come
felt a bit
alright.
disrespected on behalf of.
It's all right.
behalf
I got my boy Derek Henry in a different league, so I got one Henry for the day.
Mate, I'll
Yeah,
trade you
fair.
Hunter Henry if you're interested in the Henry. I'll just pick him up and then I'll
Yeah.
trade him to
Trade Henrys.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to quickly recap these teams, right? So starts of the week team is also Dr. Good Call team for Taylor. He's got Goff,
Really?
Mostert, Devonta Smith, and Mike Gesicki. Ding! Manjot's team here, Carr as the quarterback, Michael Carter. I was considering taking J-Rob as my running back, and there would have been a battle to the death, but decided not to in the end and took a really bad option. But anyway, so Alec Pierce at number 4 and Irv as the tight end. And Matty C's team Tua, which I can't believe you guys let me have. Melvin Gordon, Devin Duvernay, and Taysom Hill. Especially since I smacked both of you guys down a few times. I just thought you'd come after me. Wow. I can tell you I'm already going to come last this week. That is horrible.
You're really bad on.
Devin Duvernay better play his ass off, I'm telling you.
Well, wide receiver 11 on the year.
He's right there, all those bonus phantom yards, yeah.
All those extra 20 points.
Well, good luck, fellas. I don't know which one of you is going to win, but you're both probably going to beat me. And good luck to the Wankers this week. Come on, we're playing only the most winningest team in Astro League history, the Rendox Birdmen, right before we play Adam next week. So we better get our shit sorted before we play Adam, because Taylor needs us.
That'd be great.
I actually had an idea, Taylor. Instead of having Manjot as my co-owner, what if I had you as my co-owner, and then you could trade my team back in irrelevance?
Just for at least for the week you're playing Adam, just for some lead up.
Yeah, I'll just give you my login and you can do what you need to.
Yeah, the Gus Gould sort of pre-game hype speech. That's all we need from Taylor.
Could you do that? Just come by my team's locker room and just give him the Gus Gould.
Just
It's going to be lost on our Spanish
weird,
audience, but you know.
in a weird stance, just looking at the camera.
The rail cam as it runs along the back of the end zone. Yeah.
Big suit.
Well, if it's gonna be mine, it's gonna be a big suit.
Mate. So, I mean, and you're tall as well. It's both ways. But good luck this week, though. Who have you got in the Astros? I can't even remember.
Me, I got Jackal.
Oh, the 6-1 Jackal.
Somehow 6-1.
He just at us last week. We couldn't catch him.
He actually doesn't have a bad team. I look at his team and I'm like, there are definitely some pieces that could go off.
I looked at his team and I thought, we're going to beat you. And then we didn't.
It's the Bills freaking bye week. Is the Bills bye week?
We couldn't even beat him on Bills bye week. Oh
so that's the key. Pick up as many Bills as you can. That's
well,
how
at
you
least
win
I've got Stephon Diggs to battle him with.
Yeah, I noticed that in the 95 player trade you did with Pete. But mate, it's time for the big run home for the Vinegar Strokes. And as you said last year, you did this. You got out to about sort of 5-1 or something like that, and then hit a few hurdles. But then it was clear coasting for the rest of the season after that. So this could be sort of similar because your team is clearly ready to go.
That's it. Got my boy Jed Kittle. Had to get a solid tight end there. Let's go.
Yeah, that was the missing piece, I reckon. It's like when you traded like a bag of 50-cent coins, a massive bag of 50-cent coins, but a bag of 50-cent coins for Kelsey last year, and it rounded it perfectly, and then your team was brilliant. Truly brilliant.
Kittle a public defender? He should have been a public defender.
I think I
At
probably
some
brought
point-
it up, and I think he gave me the rude finger
He-
because he's a 49er.
Kittle was injured though the whole time, and then like he
Yeah.
had the comeback game where he didn't
That's
do
right.
much, and he was kind of just getting used as a blocker. But then it just feels like every week he's just built up and built up.
Yeah.
Like, and he just
Yeah.
came out and get a touchdown last week. So
Yeah, 6 for 98 and a touchdown. So
Yeah,
pretty
looking
good.
he had the exact same line as Kelsey.
Yeah, how good's
Kelsey
that?
didn't have a
He
touchdown.
had a touchdown, yeah.
Yeah, Kelsey didn't have a touchdown. We saw who was the best tight end on National Tight Ends Day.
Yep, Mark Andrews was the best tight.
I've always said that I thought Kittle was the best tight end.
Yeah.
I actually think he is the best. Like if you gave everyone the same quarterback in the situation, I actually
Yeah,
think he was the
finally.
best. I actually think he'd be better than Kelsey on the Chiefs. I just
What,
think
what did
Yeah.
Hawk do to be disrespected like that?
No. Hawk's obviously second.
After we built a segment around the guy, just cut to a shot of Hawk crying in the corner in the fetal position.
Wow, we're ending the night talking about tight ends. Where have we gone?
No, we're gonna end the night talking about pastry press and get a gridiron. Get a gridiron. I know
Yeah,
our
I agree.
shows.
Yeah, you know our shows. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
over this. Like I had Derek Henry as your starting quarterback in starts of the week 10 minutes ago.
And then
so let's
David
just-
Carr. And then David Carr.
And then David Carr. I mean, wow. So you know I'm on it. Man, give us some plugs.
I'd take a 0 from David Carr if I'm going to have Derek Henry in the starting slot.
Is that what we're going to do? We're each going to pick a guy who started as a 0% just so we can go and get a guy who's 100% started.
Exactly.
Manjot was
Look.
trying something like that earlier.
Yeah. Look, I was trying all the high IQ players.
He's
and then
only started
defensive
96% of leagues.
Yeah. But look, you know where 100% of people should go where they want
Ooh.
football content
Yeah,
from
what?
me. Pastry Press NFL on Instagram. That's where you can find it all. You can find Good Egg Gridiron content. You can find that on Spotify too, because we got all the full episodes. Hopefully one coming, I think Thursday morning-ish, the recap for the previous week of NFL action. That's going to be a long one, but you guys are going to enjoy all of my rants that I've advertised throughout. I said there was a Niners rant, there was a Tom Brady rant, an Aaron Rodgers rant, there's a Colts rant, just for Taylor. There's a Colts rant, and of course, yeah, there's a ton of rants there that you're gonna like, even some fantasy talk that I add in
Ooh.
from time to time. Just
He
to
lets
add
you
in
get
a-
away with it, does he?
He lets me get away with it. As I
Yeah,
think
no.
I've got him into the
Silly
fantasy
boy.
mode. The fantasy mode, that content team league. Look, he's 6
I
and 1.
think it's bitten him. I think it's bitten him on the bum, and he loves a bit of fantasy now. I think we've converted
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, it's all you and the content team league. It's a great team. I mean, look, we got gridiron guys. You know, our back QBs just watching, but they're good guys. Fantasy dicks. There's like all 4 of the fantasy dicks are in the league,
Yeah.
and somehow they're just absolutely having a terrible year. It's just I feel for them.
And I'm okay
Feel
with
for
it.
them. I didn't want to go too hard on our boys, the fantasy dicks.
Nah,
I
they're
mean,
good
Frank's
lads.
having a great year though.
Yeah.
Frank just beat me this week. So,
Dusted me 2
shout out.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, find us Pastry Press NFL, Good Egg Gridiron, Instagram, of course, Aussie NFL Fantasy on Instagram. Look, all 3 pages, but they always collab with Pastry Press NFL. So if you follow Pastry Press NFL and both pages, you won't miss anything that I post at all.
Exactly.
And of course, listen to all the podcasts. That's right. Of course, can't forget all the podcasts. I spend about 6 hours, 7 hours on podcasts every week, which
you
is
do.
why Maddie is trying to ban me next week from podcasts because of my exam week coming up. So, yeah,
I mean,
ton
the
of
exams
work.
will get you nowhere in life, but you want to score well on them. I mean, we all know
Yeah.
that volunteering on a fantasy football podcast from Australia is the right career move.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
That'll pay the bills.
Man. Yeah, I wish my parents could see that.
100%. Do they know how big you are in Spain?
Look
I think
at
you
me
need to
now.
play on that. And you have to, just give them the
Yeah.
quick outlook at how we are killing it in Spain.
Look, if you guys are from TikTok and you're from Spain, we'll have a Spanish translation of Aussie NFL Fantasy coming straight to you from, we'll get a few Spanish speaking people. Yeah, it's getting late in that.
We can't even speak English.
Yeah.
we definitely can't.
Look, I've been in Latin mode all week, studying Lord's Down. But yeah, look,
Yes,
Aussie,
yes.
yeah, all the NFL fantasy. Look, once
Ipso
I finish,
facto.
once I finish all my exams, though, that Aussie NFL fantasy TikTok, let's just say that Aussie NFL fantasy TikTok is gonna go up and up because I'm gonna be posting at least 5 or 6 times a day. I don't even know. What if I can get away with these two? I'll just be posting whatever because who cares at that point? I'll be posting all my tweets and everything. And yeah, find us on Twitter, Aussie_fantasy, is it? Yeah.
On Twitter, yeah, Aussie_fantasy.
just
I got a really good handle
double-
finally.
Yeah, just double checking. I
Yeah.
got that one right because you kept changing the handle. I do see the tweets from time to time. Pretty much all the tweets I see because you gotta be following you guys, and then
Yeah,
you
you're
gotta
half my
retweet.
audience on there.
And then look, of course, Marky Mark, No Huddle Dynasty. That's on
Yes.
Twitter. And of course, No Huddle Dynasty podcast comes out every week and comes out on our page as well. So definitely check that out. And yeah, YouTube, TikTok. I mean, TikTok, just try and grow some actual followers and not bots from Spain, please. And then we'll be good. And then, of course, yeah, Instagram, Aussie NFL Fantasy. And then, yeah, I think I've covered everything.
That's it, man.
Email, send us emails and anchors and whatever you guys want. Because
Check out the merch store.
yeah, the merch. Get that
Moment, I'm
merch
our
out.
number one customer on the merch store.
Yeah, I'll be checking that. Don't worry, Matty. There'll be a Aussie NFL Fantasy.
Hey, nice.
I
As soon
get-
as there's
I
a
get the ad-
sale, I'll get the ads up when there's another sale.
I get the ads up on the Guardian. They always put up ads for us. So look, we're already gaining
damn.
traction. Yeah,
How about
on
that?
T Public, they're already pushing out our sales. So shout out to T Public for putting that out.
Good shit. Good shit. And of course, every single one of these links for Ghetto Gridiron, for Pastry Press, for No Huddle, for everything. It's all through the link tree as well. So if you want one spot where you can find all of it and go shopping across all of these things for audio, visual, social media, merchandise, the works, find it at linktree/Aussie NFL Fantasy. Fellas, it is midnight on a Thursday morning. Congratulations on making it to the end of another marathon show. I don't know whether we're going to see Manjot next week or not. So good luck, Manjot, in kicking my
Thank
butt
you.
this week on starts of the week, and with your defensive Kyle Pitts. And thank you for all the great pastry performers. Either way, no matter what happens next week, we'll have Manjot back for some pastry performer recap and a new week of pastries. Taylor, I don't know how we're going to do it next week because we still don't know when we're going to get together, but we'll work it out. And whether we've got Marky Mark or whether we've got Manjot, it's all up for grabs. Nobody knows. So
Yeah.
come back and find out.
Matty, I'm going to finish with a bold call.
Do it.
Derrick Henry's going to have 200 yards rushing this week.
Is he playing the Jags?
Is
No,
he playing
playing-
Texans?
He's playing the Texans, who are worse.
Oh yeah,
is that
that's
possible?
it. That's it. I knew it. I knew he was playing the Texans. So that's the best one.
Wow. Okay, 200 yards done. On that, sign. Oh, hang on. What's the Espanol? We got to go on Espanol. Vamonos.
Wait, I'm getting the Google Translate out. Wait a sec.
It's not hola because that's hello, right?
Spanish,
Barcelona.
English to
Atletico.
Spanish.
Go!
Man, I don't know. I had a bit of
Adios. Adios.
How do
Oh,
I
yeah,
not know that?
that's-
Adios. Yeah,
So
adios.
Adios, amigos.
Adios.
Adios. Yes, I am indeed public defender Manjot Melly. I didn't give you more pictures, Matty, because you just
I've literally got one.
You got more this week. You put
I
a
do
million
now.
on your Facebook.
At least Taylor gives me a bit of expression. Did you see the face on Dr. Goodcall?
Yeah.
Oh, Rise?
We all
I don't know who the judge is.